What's up, guys? Hope it's going good. So I wanted to just do a video on just kind of like how I learned to, it's not reading so much music because that's kind of more music theory. I'm going to show you basically how I I don't want to say taught myself, but like how I learned to like, write chords and then write strum patterns and stuff that just helped me out because a lot of times on these lessons that I'm doing, these tutorials, there aren't chord charts, in the specific key that I'm doing them in like the easy one. So like if we were doing a song in the key of B flat, and we were using a capo on the 3rd fret, and we were playing it in the key of G, that would put the overall song in the guitar into the key of B flat. But I'm teaching you these chords, maybe the G, the C, the E minor, the D, but the way the chord chart is originally set up, it's actually written out with no capo, so it would be a lot of bar chords and stuff. So I'm finding that, some of you guys are having some questions like, hey, can you post the chord charts, or do you have access to the chord charts? And a lot of times I don't. I just use like the number system, the Nashville number system, and I'll usually go to the artist's website, or like, Bethel's website or Elevation's website, Hillsong, and I know the Nashville number system, which is a process in and of itself. It took me a while to actually like figure it out. I'll do a video on that maybe down the road. But, when I was just learning how to play, literally, I would just, I think where I was at the time, I didn't have a printer. So like, I was literally just like writing out the lyrics to all these songs. And I would have like papers and sticky notes and little, I don't know, note cards like this, which I'll explain in a minute, all over my house, all over my living room. And just like, I would just do it manually. And, that might be what you have to do while you're learning, and while you're a beginner. You might have to just kind of do some of this stuff manually. If you have a printer, print off the lyrics, and I'm going to show you how I, kind of wrote the chords out, wrote the strum patterns, where they need to go. So just a little bit of an FYI. I'm not saying this is how you should do it. I'm just telling you, this is how I did it. I didn't know any better, so I was just, manually handwriting all the lyrics to the songs I wanted to learn, and just putting the shapes of the chords above the lyrics and stuff. So, if you have a better, more cutting edge way to do it, please do so, and maybe share it with people on the channel who are struggling as well. But let me just show you, I have 2 songs. So just the chorus. Choruses of 2 songs, popular songs. So the first one is Waymaker by Bethel. Second one is Great Are You Lord by All Sons and Daughters. And so just basically what I would do. So first song up here, chorus. Second song down here. So we'll just focus up top on this one. So I have, I've got some colors there. I've got some green, I've got some red, I normally wouldn't do this. Like when I was learning, I would just use like a black pen or whatever, but just to make it maybe a little more simple and easy to comprehend and understand for you all, I used, a little bit of color coding. So what I would start with is just the lyrics. So I would just start with the lyrics. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you, I worship you. Depending on if somebody had already done a tutorial on this when I was learning, I would go to their tutorial, listen to it, watch where their hands are going, what chords they're going to. And what I would do is place the actual chord above the lyric when it changed chords, or when I was supposed to actually hit that chord. So like for this first part, you are here. So on the here, that's when I would do the down strum on the C chord. So I'll just kind of show you. You are here. So that is just where I would do the down strums, and I would always just start with one down strum. And I tell you guys that a lot kind of encourage you to do that if you're confused with the strum pattern, or if you're just a very beginner. Just start with down strums, one down strum on where the chord changes. Then you can fill in some rhythm and some of these down, down, up, up, down, down things. So, you know, I would, and this would take me some time. I would, you know, say, okay, well, where do I put this G chord, and where does the next chord go? And it would be a process that I was kind of, you know, I was figuring it out and I was learning a lot. So, it might not be perfect. It might be a little sloppy for you guys when you're beginning to do it and you're starting a new thing, but that's how learning takes place, and that's how, like, you learn things, is just through trial and error and through actually doing things. So don't get discouraged if you're confused, or you're you know, running into a little resistance when you're doing this. So anyways, second line, you are here moving in our midst. So that's where I would hit the G. So I would put the G up top, and I'm not even sure what key, if this is the right key. You are here. So the C on the here. You are here, moving in our midst. We go to the next part. Third line, I worship you. So that would be my D. I worship you. Fourth line, E minor, I worship you. And just start with down strums. And like for a lot of these songs, you know, they're worship songs, so you can even just kind of worship to them just by doing down strums instead of doing like full strum patterns. Just kind of that nice, just quiet, heartfelt worship to the Lord. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. So, you know, you can just do down strums to worship to it and get the ball rolling. So here's my next part, what I would do. I would figure out, okay, in between chords, and this one, I don't know what I was doing up here, but normally I would start with down strums between each chord. So for the C, I would go, you are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. And I'm realizing I'm doing 4 down strums for each chord. So back, you know, to start with the first line, the first 2 lines from the C to the G, I would go, okay, you know, I'd write it down with my pen. You are here, moving in our, so I'd be like, okay, 4 down strums, down, down, down. And that's what these arrows are, if I didn't explain them already. You can use D, you know, D or U for down, up, down, up. I would just always use arrows, I don't know why. So that's what these are. And then, so once I would practice that a little bit, worship to that, then I would say, okay, if, you know, the song, it gets a little bit more rhythmic in the next verse, if I wanted to add some more rhythm, I would just try to figure out, you are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. And then I would figure out, okay, I'm doing down, down, up, up, down, down for each chord. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. Down, down, up, up, down, down. And then, you know, play that for a little while. And then I'm like, you know what? I feel like I can just add maybe one more down, up in there. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. Are here. So I'm adding that little down up at the very end. of, before I would transition to the next chord. So, yeah, I think like that's just how I would do it. There may be a better way. That's what that's when I'm teaching students and giving lessons, that's what I encourage them to do. Because I think a lot of us, we're visual learners, right? So we need to see things. And just, maybe the educator in me just, thinks that, when you write something down, when you actually take the time to do it, it activates some learning stuff up here in the cognitive processes, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm not saying you handwrite the lyrics for 200 songs that you want to learn, but eventually you might just get to the point where, and I remember this was another step for me, another progression. Instead of writing out all of the chords or all of the lyrics for the verse and the chorus and the bridge, I would get to the point where I wouldn't have to, and I could just put verse, C, like in a line, C, G, D, E minor. And I would just, for the chorus, I would put, chorus, C, D, E minor, G, or whatever it may be. And I wouldn't have to, I would know this song well enough, and I would practice it where I wouldn't have to literally write out every single lyric, put the chord up top above the specific lyric where the chord needs to change and where I need to hit a down strum. I would just see, okay, verse, my chords are C, D, or C, G, D, E minor. And then naturally, you'll figure that out. You'll figure out where things go, and you won't have to write things out, literally word by word, lyric by lyric. And then eventually you'll just get to the point where, you know what, I played that song so many times, and I realized it's the whole song is the same chords over and over again for the intro, the verse, the chorus, the bridge. It's just C, G, D, E minor, and I don't really need to write that out. I know that, so I think you'll be able to make some progressions and make some, I guess progressions as you're learning. But this is a really good tip, just that I did when I was learning. I don't know how or why I did it, but it was just the easiest way that made sense for me to visually see things. So I hope this helps you guys out. I'll do a video, I'll do a lesson on the Nashville number system, but I'll be honest, I didn't even know what that was, or I didn't know how to apply it and use it probably until like a few years ago, like year 7, year 8, year 9 maybe of me playing guitar. So it's a little bit more complex, it's a little bit more confusing, and that's what I use primarily for when I'm doing these tutorials. If you guys see me looking at something or see me looking at the computer, that's what I'm looking at. But I do try to post the link for the chords if they are in the right key, and if it's in the key of G, or if it's in the key of D where there's no like transposing stuff. I don't know, I might be losing you at this point. But anyways, I hope this helps you guys out. Definitely leave a comment, leave a question if you're confused. If you have a better way, a more efficient way that works for you, leave it in the comments so we can all learn from you. So that's what it's all about. So anyways, hope it helps. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.